I'm not a bit impressed because I've been moved through the streets of St. John's. These numbers will swell even further. They're coming on the line with the route. When they was about. They cover all the drains in St. John's. When the drains by design were not built to be covered. And so when you talk about no confidence, that is no confidence. They cause half the problem in St. John's that we're not witnessing. They cause the problem this government to fix the economy. I don't want to go over all the things they're doing, but some of them we tend to forget. So I remind you all of a few. In 2014, we met the banking system in Antigua just about. It took this gentleman at the back of me here, who is a professional banker, a banker by training, to make interventions. I can tell all the cabinet, most of us are students in that process. Dean can't claim to have banking experience. Samantha, who was just there? Tico had the banking experience. Robin came the closest, along with Sir Baldwin, because they were finance ministers. But we all feet of Gaston Brown. And in no time, he fixed it to the extent that today, we have strong banks in Antigua and Barbuda. I can go further. You all can remember that the yachting sector in my community in the Shaba had threatened to leave. They couldn't get no sulfur fuel and they couldn't get no water. Lest we forget, it's the Labour Party that fixed that problem. And for those of you who don't know, it was the yachting sector that during the COVID months. Yachts were coming galore from all over the world. Management, we demonstrated leadership. And I must say to you, Antigua and Barbuda, we have much to give thanks for, including a Prime Minister and leader called Gaston. Comrades, I hear they say we're losing time now, but I don't know we're losing time. We're doing well. This is the first time in 2 years since I'm talking to you. The microphone a little longer than usual. Don't feel any way. And me not like them. Me not talk as me like. Me talk truth. Everything I say here, I do so with great responsibility as chairman of the Labour Party, as a member of the Gaston Brown administration. Comrades, let us not get sidetracked by some of this. Let us not get swayed by the detractors. Every day we hear some new story. But the one story they can't tell you is that they can do the work of the people properly. For 10 years we tried them. It is the biggest failed experiment ever in this country's history. As we get ready for elections, when the Prime Minister calls, we have an obligation and a responsibility to reward the performing government by electing all 17 candidates of the Antigua and Barbuda the Parliament, I hear all people make all kinds of statements. We want opposition in Parliament. We want opposition. Opposition for what? If President passes for what you want, John, something wrong with all of us. If you have somebody who can come and command the English language or join the conversation for national good, I say yes. But the truth is, when you go into the last 8 years in this country, and if you even add the previous 10 years with UPP, you realize that it's chalk to cheese, night and day. And so I'm saying to you, if you agree that this country is where we are today because of the foundational work of VC Bird, Lester Bird, and the current day work of Gaston Brown, we expect an election day. All 17 seats will go to Labour for continuation of the hard work of the development station.
What about remember them day?
I want to encourage all of you today, as you leave this bus, do not forget this day. Do not take for granted the achievements of this moment. 2 years ago, I remind us, 2 years ago, we could not come here. 2 years ago, we were locked up in our houses. And then the fires, they say. 1 year ago, with all the modern advances in science and medicine, we are still locked away, unable to do this. We are able to do this today. To a very large extent, because of the work of Gaston Brown and the administration. I want to give thanks again to all the frontline workers, or nurses, or doctors. But to the workers, you deserve a special mention, special commendation. It is good, yes, that for 2 years, while locked away, This administration allowed for all of you to be paid while not working. Not a single public sector worker was terminated. Not a single, I repeat emphasis, not a single public sector worker was terminated. And that happened in the economy depending on tourism. At a time when tourists could not come. That speaks of leadership. It speaks of planning. It speaks of organization. And it belies the strength of organization today. The only institution in this country that got done this is Labour Party. PC dead workers back then were locked in the country with millionaires because the union was strong, the party was strong. And those are things done for the advancement of the nation. So Lester Bird made his mark. But I don't want to dwell today on Celeste and Sophia, except to say thanks to them for the foundation they laid.
Yes.
Today we give thanks to the class of 2014, led by Gaston Alfonso.
Yes,
it is that group of men and women who have transitioned and transformed Antigua and Barbuda.
Yes.
I remember Prime Minister Brown saying, when the pandemic took root, gentlemen, ladies, we have a challenge. But in every challenge, there are opportunities. Today we embrace those opportunities. Look at the pier. Look at the pier. We can now host more cruise ships than ever before. That is leadership. Look at University of West Indies. Look at the University of West Indies. Whoever thought in the wildest dream that in 8 short years of leading this country, that Gaston Brown will delivered the 4th London campus of UWI right here in Antigua and Barbuda. And lest we forget, it happened amidst much opposition. The chairman of the UPP used to work for UWI, and she said she not go back down there if they bring UWI Antigua because they're diminishing the brand of UWI.
Yes.
What damn forwardness. What she's saying in short is that we don't have the ability, the capacity to maintain or to host a university in Antigua for the benefit of Barbuda. You want more than that? You want more than respect than that? In my constituency, and I want to address the ladies and the women in the crowd now. In my constituency, one man named Clown Natil. She made a statement, and I'll put it on social media as I leave here, that all the women in Antigua and Barbuda are involved in transactional sex.
Yes, yes,
you know what I mean? Anything you have, you get for free.
Yes.
What disrespect? Look at all the hard-working mothers here today. Look at all the hard-working women in this crowd today who work to maintain their families, work to maintain themselves. And all she can say, anything you earn, your nice house, your nice car, your nice property, whatever you have, you do it through sex, sexual favors. I want to say to the people of St. Paul's, like to the nation, time for getting rid of them out of the political field once and for all. They make no sense, they bring no value.
Once and for all.
As I wrap up, comrade, because I must leave somebody to say, you can't just grab the microphone down for the whole day. I want to say to you that this is a special day. This is a momentous day. The first day of the day after 2-year hiatus. And it's good to see you out here thousands. Let us stay safe. Let us wend our way to the streets, celebrating, reflecting. And as we wend our way, celebrating, reflecting, let's also project. Project into the next election when the Antigua and Barbuda party will win all 17 seats. God bless you and happy New Year.
Thank you very much, Comrade Green. I want us to welcome the Honorable Attorney General who just came in. Let's give a round of applause for the Honorable Skidroy, Beauty Benjamin.
I love a boy.
You know something? The strength of any country,
I don't want to say
the strength of any organization, the strength of any home lies with our women. Women of labor! Women of labor!
Somebody said I want to.
Comrades, every time I get the opportunity to introduce our next speaker, I I get excited.
Yes, Prime Minister.
There are not many things that excite me more than introducing the Prime Minister. I get excited about Jesus. I get excited about the lady in my life. And then I get excited about introducing the Prime Minister. 8 years ago. 8 years ago, when the Honorable Gaston Brown and the Antigua Labour Party took over the leadership of this country, they took over a country that was bankrupt financially, economically. They took over a country from a group of hoodlums who were bankrupt of ideas. 8 years later, with 2 years of the worst thing that would have happened in the last 100 years or more, COVID, Antigua and Barbuda today stands as the strongest country in the OECS and CARICOM economically. I have some figures. I have time to share them with you today. But tune into the Sensible People show on Point FM on Friday. Because all of the major macroeconomic factors show that Antigua and Barbuda are way ahead of the rest. And these are not figures prepared by the Antigua Barbuda Labour Party. These are figures by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the World Bank, and the UPP favorite bank, the IMF. Under the leadership of Gaston Alfonso Brown, we're bigger than them. I hear them today talking about some march of no confidence. But look at confidence. And so if you have confidence in Gaston Brown and the Antigua Barbuda Labour Party, let me hear you say, yeah. Bunch of fools, not even heaven have confidence in them. You think the good Lord could put us back under that kind of leadership?
No way.
Not the merciful God that I serve. So this morning, I'm excited to introduce not only the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, but some people say he's the Prime Minister of the Caribbean. Because when he leaves, others follow. And I see a lady in front of me shouting, and the world boss! Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, converted brothers and sisters, join me in welcoming to the podium the Honorable Gaston
With more blessing, I got the blessing. I got the blessing. They can't stop me. I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life, I am blessed. When I wake up in the morning and I lay my head to rest, and every day of my life, I am blessed.
Cut. Sorry if it sounds like Beanie Man this morning. So, you're going to sing with me. You don't have to sing the same line. But I believe in using even talents that I do not have. Now, you know that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, the Antigua Treasury Labour Union is a union of the masses. You know that no other institution has contributed to the advancement of the people of Antigua and Barbuda to workers more so than this union. So, because of our contributions in empowering the people of Antigua and Barbuda, God continue to bless us. And I said to you that we are blessed. And I want you to sing with me, we are blessed. Run the tune, Daddy. Run the tune. Wake up in the morning and I am today. Every day of my life I am blessed. Yes. Are you ready? Let's hear it for the greatest political movement in this hemisphere. Let's hear it for the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. Are you ready? Are you ready for the elections? I can feel you. You are ready? Our political opponents, they have tried to escalate Labor Day into a political contest. We know that Labor Day is somewhat divisive in that we split along political lines. But we have always maintained the priority of workers. The focus on workers, because today is Workers' Day. We gather here today to celebrate the successes of workers. But our opponents, they have tried to make it into a political contest. They said that today, they will turn today into a vote of no confidence in the Labour Party administration. Well, guess what? They got the answer. They got the answer. And what you're seeing here is a resounding vote of confidence in the Gaston Brown administration. So I thank you for coming out in your numbers. And from all indications, this Labor Day will be one of the greatest Labor Days in the history of our country. And that is because you believe in this great institution. That is because you are happy with the performance with the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party administration. And I say to you this morning that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, under my governance, under my leadership, will continue to invest in our people. We have many successes on which to stand. We know of all of the achievements during the last 8 years. But even prior to that, we had the achievements of Sevilla, Celesta, who have built this country, who have transformed Antigua and Barbuda from a backwater country into a modern small island state. And I can stand here without fear of contradiction to say that the Gaston Brown administration has built on those successes. We have made strides in every aspect, every single aspect of human endeavor in this country. Every sector has grown under our leadership. You look at the healthcare services that we're now delivering to our people. We're delivering healthcare services that are superior to many other countries within the Caribbean. Today, we are offering kidney transplants. The last one was done just about a week ago. We have built out our health infrastructure. Today, we have 3 beds per 1,000 of population. The average within the region is about 1.5 to 2 beds. And if you add the field hospitals, we have 4 beds per 1,000 of population. Lest we forget that during that dreaded period of COVID, we built out the IDC Center, Infectious Disease Center. We also built out the new hospital on Nugent Avenue. But we didn't stop there. We expanded the socio-economic infrastructure. We continue to build out our cruise infrastructure to the extent that Antigua and Barbuda has one of the most developed cruise infrastructure in the Caribbean today. Let us not forget that we continue with the build out of our cargo port, which is now one of the finest within the Caribbean. But we did not stop there. The other aspects of the physical infrastructure, our roads, our curbs and drains, our utilities, we continue to build out the country's infrastructure. And I know we have some challenges, but you can be assured that those challenges will be addressed and will be resolved. But let us continue on the successes of this great institution. In education, no other administration since independence has spent more in education than the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party administration on the Gaston Brown. Yes! We have brought you the fourth landed campus of the University of the West Indies. And why you think we made that sacrifice? We did so to make sure that we can provide universal tertiary education to the people of Antigua and Barbuda. Yes. And to show you how resilient we are, how undaunted we are as a government. When we decided to pursue the University of Five Islands, or the University of the West Indies at Five Islands, we owed the University of the West Indies $20 million. $20 million in arrears. And they said to us, if since inception of the University of the West Indies, since under severe, you could not pay us, how are you going to clear the arrears? Much as to start the university? We said to them, let's study that man, we'll find the money. And we found the money. We cleared the arrears of $20 million. And we also found the funding in order to pay the operationalization of the university. It's about empowering the people of Antigua and Barbuda. There's no other administration that has spent more in developing the secondary school plan than my administration. We expanded all but two of the secondary schools. Even in Barbuda, we doubled the size of the McChesney George Secondary School in Barbuda. We built the St. Noble Secondary School. And as we speak, we are currently constructing yet another block there. In fact, that entire compound will be transformed into one of the most impressive educational compound in the Caribbean. So here's what to come. We will spend, commencing within a matter of months, $20 million to rebuild the youth skills vocational facility.
Thank you for coming.
We will during this year
It is so noisy, so I can't, but I've seen you guys. Thank you.
At Tomlinson's. And we'll also build a very exciting and important early childhood facility that could accommodate about 500 students. You see, within the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party administration, within the Gaston Brown administration, our position is everything we have as ministers, the workers must have.
Yes!
That is why, invariably, we give you duty-frees so that you can own a vehicle.
Yes!
That is why we subsidize the construction of homes.
Yes!
So that you can own a home.
Yes!
And you said, but hold on a second. Our children, they have the right, they have the opportunity to get early childhood education. What about poor and vulnerable workers? Why should Peace, for example, my daughter, have the opportunity to go to Young World and earlier Prince, and your children can't get the right or the opportunity for early childhood education? So we said, you know what? We will strategically build out early childhood facilities in every single constituency in this country and Barbuda. When it comes to entrepreneurship, I have been a serial entrepreneur all my life with the exception of this 8-year period as Prime Minister. My family members have been investing in various businesses. Similarly, we have members of the cabinet who have invested, making sure that there is no conflict with the investment in the work that they do. And we said, but hold on a second, the working class must have the opportunity to become business people too. And that is why we started the Prime Minister's Entrepreneurial Development Fund. Now we have made a lot of progress in housing, there's no doubt about it. But we have said, you know what? The problem that we have in place does not capture a political class of people who may want to probably pay about maybe $800 a month for a mortgage. So we said, you know what? We're going to subsidize these homes even more. And starting within a matter of weeks, we will start construction of those 2-bedroom properties. If you can afford 3, you get 3.
They look good.
And we will subsidize the price of a 2-bedroom property to bring it down to about $120,000 so you can pay $800 a month. That is what we call a caring administration. So, when they try to define members of my administration as uncaring, you know that not to be true. You know that your administration, that this Labour Party administration cares about you.
Yes.
You have seen it in our works. And even though we don't tell you as often as we ought to that we love you, you can feel the love.
Again.
You know that Gaston Brown loves you. You know that Gaston Brown will fight unrelentingly for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. That is why we fought UWE to get the University of 5 Islands. That is why we fought Carnival to get them to increase the head tax. That is why we fought Harvard University to get reparations. That is why we fought the banking institution to increase domestic ownership of the banking sector. We're not fighting for ourselves, we're fighting for workers.
Yes.
And as they say, the proof of the pudding is in the eating.
Yes.
So we can stand on our track record. Now let us understand too that the issue of water is a problem.
Long time.
But we have invested at least 15 times the resources that the UPP invested in the water infrastructure in 10 years. In fact, let me remind you, that is the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party administration that established the reverse osmosis infrastructure at Crabs prior to the UPP coming to power. They came into power and they lasted 10 years. And you know how much water they added? 200,000 gallons. Within 2015, 1 year in government, we paid off $22 million in arrears that they couldn't pay. They could not pay for 2 million gallons of water per day from Semcor. But today, they're telling you that if you elect them, that they can pay for 12 million gallons.
They lie.
Do you believe that?
No way.
Of course not. You know that they are a bunch of con men. They're trying to deceive the people with their talk. They were successful in 2004. Celeste warned us. Celeste said to us, if we made a mistake to elect them, Crapo would smoke our pipes. But guess what? Our late great Celeste became complacent and he allowed Crapo to smoke our pipes. But guess what? All the Gaston Brown and Team Labour, Crapo smoking our pipes around here. But let me go back to the water situation. Within 3 weeks, you will see an improvement in the water situation. What has happened is that a couple of the plants are not working because the maintenance parts that they ordered since October last year got stuck in all of the global logistic chaos. In fact, they were supposed to arrive last week and they were delayed for yet another week. We believe they'll be here next week, 2 weeks of testing, and in 3 weeks, you will see an additional 2 million gallons of water per day.
You know you can do it.
But we're not stopping there. By the end of June, the Fort James reverse osmosis plant will be operational. When you drive down to Fort James today, look on the left as soon as you enter and you see the construction taking place for the civil facilities. And in September of this year, barring no logistical delays, we will have yet another plant, adding another 3 million gallons of water per day.
You know you can do it.
That will then ensure water sustainability.
Yes.
And you know that if Labour can't fix it,
Nobody can. Nobody
so you
can.
don't have to take any
Nobody can.
from anyone. Because at the end of the day,
Nobody can.
it is this party, this institution, that has a track record of performing.
Nobody
It is
can.
this institution that has the competent men and women to deliver for you. But let me say to you, my dear people, anybody in opposition can promise anything. But I say to you, lest we forget. And let us understand that those who forget their past will be condemned to make the same mistakes. That must never happen to the people of Antigua and Barbuda. Workers in this country know that during the period between 2004 and 2014, that was a lost decade. 10,000 workers were put out of work. Let us juxtapose that to the situation with COVID. We had a situation in which revenues fell by 40%, and not a single public servant was put out of work. Let's hear it for Labour Man. This is a great caring institution, an empathetic institution. People have come to the people and say, no, we can't take it. We have to lay off maybe 40%
This is how they celebrate.
Every single person must remain employed. Because we recognized too at the time that we had to ensure that at least one person per household would be working.
Yes.
And the fact that within the public sector, we have 1/3 of the employment in the public sector. We knew on average that at least one person per household will be working. But we didn't stop there. Even as an institution, we ran feeding programs. We provided products, food products, and food vouchers. And without the government here, the institution, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, provided support for people. We even raised funds for the UPP so that they can help their people in the period of crisis.
Bunch of failures.
You're telling me that we are not a caring institution?
Yes.
We introduced a food program to take care of the poor and the vulnerable.
Yes.
And you're telling me that this institution is not a caring institution?
Yes.
Guess what? We had the type of audacity to say to our Caribbean colleagues that we will not lock down this country.
No way.
We said to them that based on the vulnerability of Antigua and Barbuda, the smallness of the country and its dependence on tourism, we said to them that we would have opened up our borders in June of 2020. They said to us at the time that we were inviting infection in our country. But guess what? We have fared better than practically any other country within the Caribbean. Let's hear it for the Antigua and Barbuda people. Let me say this. When those who oppose us continue to undermine our successes, they're undermining the successes of workers. Because it is your toil that has actually kept this country together. It is your toil that has actually advanced this country. Your blood, your sweat, your tears. And when you have charlatans and losers and laggards who can say to us that this country has not progressed, I said to you that they are the great deceptors. And we have to be very careful of them because they come to destroy. They come literally to live off of the public purse. Because many of them have failed. They haven't done anything to empower themselves, their family members. They haven't made any contribution to the empowerment of the people. And I want to say to all of our comrades, being a comrade must mean something. You must embrace the values of this great institution. The values of love, empathy, hard work, resilience, entrepreneurship. And let me speak to entrepreneurship. Our political opponents said to the people of Antigua and Barbuda that when we speak about creating wealth, that we're speaking about corrupt enrichment. That is because they do not even understand the parables in Matthew 25. Let us examine the parables in Matthew 25. The parables say that you should multiply your talents, not to bury your talents. And we understand that creating wealth in this country must be a priority. Because future generations must not have to roll up their sleeves the way we had to. We must create a pathway for future generations so they can get a good education, so they can live a good standard of living. That is our obligation to future generations. And you will recall in the parables that those individuals were condemned as slothful individuals. We must not engage slothfulness in this institution. This must be an institution of entrepreneurship, an institution of hard work, an institution of love, of empathy, caring, compassion. Those are the values that Celesta, Sophia left us, and no one can characterize us with the lies. Our contribution speaks for itself. And I say to all of you to continue to work hard, continue to invest, to become entrepreneurs, to use your creativity, your innovativeness, to generate wealth. That is what is expected. In fact, in the parables, they literally try to degrade the businessman who gave them the gifts. The one who failed to invest, degrade the investor who gave him the gift. And that is precisely what the UPP is doing. Trying to degrade us because we said to our people that they must multiply their talents, that they must multiply their wealth. We make no apologies about it. So if creative enrichment means multiplying your talents, multiplying your wealth, you ought to embrace it. My dear people, when it comes to the empowerment of the people of Antigua and Barbuda, that is our sole objective. We're not here to enrich ourselves. We're not here looking for Santa Claus. And that is what our opponents are looking for. When you look at them down and out, they literally do not take care of our elderly, our young women, our young girls. They abuse them. Lest we forget that the current UPP slate of candidates, they include 3 rapists, not 1, 3. So you know what is happening there? And by the way, it includes a murderer too. So what they're doing now, they are institutionalizing within the UPP the abuse of our women and girls. That could never ever happen in the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. I say to you that any individual who abuse our women, who beat them, who rape them, who murder them, cannot serve in this great institution. It will never happen.
No way!
And I know that there's some people who are taking these issues for granted. But if at the institutional level, they are elevating rapists, murderers, then clearly they don't care about our people. How can you trust them with the governance of our people? They have no empathy, no care. They do not see the need to protect the poor and the vulnerable. They do not see the need to protect our women and girls from these charlatans, from these vagabonds. Instead, you know what they've done? They are now seeking to give them power so that they can abuse our people even more. We cannot allow that to happen.
No way!
And I want to say to the undecideds in this country, you better understand that now is not a time to change the leadership of this country.
No way!
Now is not the time to be given chance.
No way!
I say those who want chance, go to Wendy's. My dear people, this is a cease time. It is one of the most challenging periods in our country. At no point in the history of our country, we have been faced with a pandemic that has literally brought the country's economy to its knees, in which we're faced with a reduction in GDP of 40%. At no point in the history of this country that we would have had a pandemic that would have brought the global community to its knees. And now we see the instability that is taking place as a result of the war in Ukraine, increasing pricing, fuel prices, food prices. And I want to say to you all, I know and I understand and empathize with the difficulties with the increase in pricing. But you know what? We are a resilient people. And I say to you, we will fight this period too. We will fight this period of increased inflation. We will fight this period, and I guarantee you that we will be triumphant. There is no challenge that is beyond this great institution. There is no challenge that is beyond this great nation. Antigua and Barbuda is one of the smallest nations in the world, but we have an outsized presence in the global community. We have an outsized presence in the Caribbean community, and that is because of the competence of our people and the greatness of our leadership. Once again, for the Antigua and Barbuda. I end again by imploring all of our people, especially those who may be undecided, that there is a need to maintain stability within the country, to maintain safety, and to ensure continued prosperity. Therefore, you need capable people. You need experienced ministers to preside over the affairs of this country. Not people who are looking for Christmas to come, looking for Santa Claus. but individuals who are committed towards your empowerment. And finally, I say to our comrades, we are months away from general elections. And I expect each of you to become advocates for this great institution. There's no time for you to sit back and look on. You need to defend this great institution and to promote this great institution. You need to protect us in every single medium. In new media, old media, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. On radio, even on television, because Point Television coming soon. We need to hear you defending this great institution and promoting the Antigua and Barbuda Labour. You need to go into your respective communities and spread the good word and the good works of labor. We have done the work. So you should feel proud of your institution and to stand up in any forum to say to the people that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party administration, the Gaston Brown administration delivered for the people of Antigua and Barbuda, and that they are safer with Labour. And the comrades, as you know, the salvation of the unity of Labour, the salvation of our country. So I ask us to continue to keep our great institution united. Let us continue in unity and love. Let us continue to show empathy for each other. Let us understand that we have to share within this great institution. No one must grow hungry during this very difficult time. Let us continue to make our institution stronger and better. And I say to you all once again as workers, happy Labor Day. I wish you a most uneventful Labor Day. And I hope that God will continue to protect and certainly protect us and keep us safe. Thank you very much, and I see you down at Courtdale.
Yes, I love the blessing. I love the blessing. Father God blessing. One more blessing. I love the blessing. I love the blessing. They can't stop me. I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life I am blessed. When I wake up in the morning and I lay my head to rest, every day of my life I am blessed.
You hear the man? You hear the man? Wow. I heard some evidence there. And all I'm going to say, Mr. A.G., an attorney Marshall, and attorney Christian, the prosecution rests. That's all I'm going to say. Mr. Prime Minister, I just want to thank you today for bringing the facts and energizing the base of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. You know, yesterday I was watching the Honorable Michael Brown going through Oliver's, where some 400 homes will be built for Antigans and Barbuda. And they want the Labour Party not do nothing. Let us continue to have a great Labour Day. We invite Senator Hurst to come forward and lead us into the red flag. Solidarity forever. I also want to welcome in on this the Honorable Marvin Joseph, who came in late, and Comrade Chet mentioned some people earlier. But let's remember, Comrade Llewellyn Smith, he would have been here today. May his soul continue to rest in peace.
Let's go, guys. Get your fingers ready, get your hands ready, get your fists ready. After 4, 3, 4. The people's flag is deepest red. It's showing off our mountain straight. And if their lips grow stiff and cold, their heart's blood died in every fold. Then raise the scarlet sky high. Beneath the chains we live and die. Cowards flinch and traitors flare. We will keep the red flag flying. Wave the light is above the hill. When all ahead seems dark as night, it witnessed many a deeds and vow. We must not change its color now. And raise the sky and stand on high. Need to change, we live and die. Our stringent traitors snare. We will keep the red flag flying. And when we call the triumph past, it gives the hope of peace at last. The banners bright, the symbol plain of human rights and human gain. Then raise the stars. We need to change, we live and die. The cowards, stringent traitors snare. We will keep the red flag flying. With heads uncovered, swear we all to bear it onward till we fall. Come dungeons dark or gallows grim, this song shall be our parting hymn. Then raise the sky and stand high. We need to change, we live and die. For cowards flinch and traitors snare. We will keep the red flag flying. Solidarity forever 3 times. Forever, oh, solidarity forever. Sing up. Solidarity forever. For the union make us strong. Oh, solidarity forever. Oh, solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Last time. Solidarity forever. Oh, solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. On the road, comrades, on the road. Always safer with labor.
she go cost me now because we go left she. We go left Shana.
But they help Shana cost. But they help Shana. Make a help she cost.
No.
I go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. Me and them can't be friends. I find it like a lunch, I give me help and strength. No, it's we. That can't be English, that has to be French. And some of them they stop the most, like they know it all. But if we come at a step and a fall, it's them to go like this. Drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. I go drink water and
ways and your melody. It's part of the therapy. I need it. I need what's the night? Let it take on the ride. On the ride. Good night. My girl, you really look nice. You look nice. You look nice. You look like you like chicken and rice. You look nice. Don't stop. Just hit the right spot. I want to give it to you. I want to give it to you. No video.
Yeah.